Pop out the chat. We're live. We are live. What's happening? Crypto fam. Happy Sunday. Good evening. Late afternoon. What's happening? Welcome back to Love for Crypto. I'm Scott. It's a pleasure to have you here. I appreciate you taking time out to consume the content, so thank you. Today I'm just going to go over the Unreal Engine a little bit. I'm going to show the progress of the game that I'm building, as well as a free asset from Unreal Engine that's called Action RPG, I believe it's called. So we're going to open that soon. I just wanted to show you this. A link to this is in the description. This is basically Unreal's documentation page of teaching you almost everything there is to know about the engine, all the way down to actual C++ API referencing, blueprinting, and Python referencing the lot. It's legitimately from beginners to what you could say expert on Unreal. So make sure you have a gander to that if you are interested. Let's get the level up. So hopefully today we don't have too many problems with the stream. I'm hoping it just plays through. We'll have to wait and see. But this is the opening room to the level. I've almost finished it now. This is the room that used to have, say, 6 beds in it. It used to look like a little ward. Really, it was a little bit hospitaler. Now it's a bit more lavish now. We've got a med chamber in there. Someone's obviously come out. It's what you're going to come out of, or the player will come out of when they emerge. A lot of it's still the same as it was. We've changed a little bit of lighting here and there, and we will need to do the lighting properly before the end. Like, some of it's too bright, some of it's just way too dim. We did a little server room. Again, we're going to tweak the lighting in here so it's not as blue. And we've created a whole new area out here. We're going to start doing more med bays, showing actual people in them. Ooh. Seen better days, that guy. It's a bit cold. But yeah, that's basically where I'm at, expanding this level. I've got to a point where I want to learn the blueprints of doors and the blueprints of the level. So to explain that a little bit, when this door opens, it's got a blueprint around it that dictates how it works, basically. Let me get it open. Warm in my room tonight, man. It is warm in my room. Open blueprint editor. So it comes open on the other screen. I'll drag it over. These are the little blueprints that I'm speaking about, which determines how this door works. So if we go into the viewport, we've got a little red box there. So when a player enters that box, if we look at this event graph, it's on component, begin overlap. Now, it's a bit codish in language, that, innit? Even still, on component, begin overlap. It basically means that in the world there's this component, and on overlapping that component, it's going to trigger an event on component, begin overlap, trigger. And it's going to be like, boom, something's just entered this box. What is it? Activate. You can cast to other actor here and make the door only open to certain players and certain characters. So, for instance, a bullet at the moment could potentially open that door if it's just an object. It's just looking for an object. It's then the timeline of how long it takes the door to open. Set the relative location of the door when it is open. Door closed. And then end overlap, as in when you walk out of the box, it's going to end it and close the door. So, a little bit different. It's a bit hanging to understand, and it gets a bit too much at first. That's why I advise you do that online tutorial that's understanding the basics and everything. Is just gonna, even this, just come to this page, get started with UE, Unreal Engine, working with projects, how to do blah, and before you know it, you're doing components, you're doing tools, looking at levels, and it will get down to blueprints and whatnot. When you understand that a little more, we can start doing a little bit more with it. And once I've built these levels out a bit more, go to blueprints at the top here. We've got a level blueprint. So I actually, for a little bit of fun, added event begin play, so when you begin play it's going to delay, then it's going to play a sound, and then it's going to delay again and play another sound. Now I've put just an AI asking, are you awake, and say we need to restore the power and stuff, but it's just that there, and I've entered the sound cue in that box, I've delayed, and I've entered the sound cue in that box. So when I play,
Captain, are you awake? We need to restore the power and communications to the facility.
so that blueprint actually enabled that voiceover over the level then. We can do it with any objectives, the start of any puzzle. It can also come up in text. You can do a hell of a lot more than just have an AI ask, are you awake, and say we need to restore the power and the communications. But that's basically how the gist of how your level starts. Now, I want to get a little bit more onto free assets. So let me close mine down. Yes, we'll save selected. And I'll get Unreal Engine over. It's finally gone. So if you go into the marketplace and search Action RPG, or which should we, let's do them both. Let's do them both. We'll do Action RPG first. June afternoon, Chris A up. Sorry, I don't look. I'm terrible with comments. Me, I need to notice them a lot sooner. I'm gonna do both of these. I'm gonna do Action RPG first. So these are both free assets. And not only do you get the created spaces to run around and have a little mess about, you actually get created blueprints, created triggers, the levels that are within these two, the Action RPG and the Horror Engine. I've not really had a play about with them yet, but I guarantee you're going to see a lot different than what was in mine just then. So this is Action RPG. It's brought me to this level. This is a free asset, already created like this. What's this here? Looks like some sort of magic potion. Pick up mana. And it's a blueprint. Let's open that blueprint. Oh, what's that? That's not the same as last time, is it? So if that happens to you, what you want to do is open full blueprint editor. And it will take to the one I'd shown you previously. Nothing in the event graph. Nothing in the construction script except parent. There's a call to a parent, which means there's a parent blueprint around that. It's actually there. There's the parent. So now in the event graph, you've actually got something. On component, begin overlap. Actor as tag. Player collecting. Item, give item. It's going to add it to an inventory then. Item, yep, give item. So if it gives the item to the player, it's going to add it to the inventory. It's going to animate the collection. And again, play sound at location. We're learning. You're learning how to add sounds here. Legitimately just looking through a couple of blueprints like that, we can actually learn how to add something. Where's the animation? Add inventory animation. You would actually just keep chasing it into the blueprint. But I want to have a little play of this. And we'll talk a bit more about blueprints in a minute. Let me actually just see what's going to happen in a level blueprint. And see if this teaches us anything about what will happen before it happens. Event begin play. Stream assets where it shows the loading screen. So it's going to stream assets instantly. That tells me there's probably going to be a sequence intro. And then we'll play in debug mode. So you usually get a demo or debug mode with the free projects. It wouldn't surprise me if there's actually something wrong with this. And within the documentation, it teaches you how to fix it. There's the asset loading it was doing that. Interesting. What mana? Chris, use that with R. I've got no health. Look at this, the ready built. Free. Mana dropped on mana. So I've got no idea how far this goes, how many levels it's going to be. Health potion. It's not showing me health potion there though. On this and murk it and say you could make it harder, but it's actually actually quite hard as it is. This is great for free. Guys, this is free. And it's not just a game, it's a game you can adapt, you can build on, you can make your own, you can change meshes, you can add monsters, you can add puzzle levels. We could add a trigger box over here on collision overlap. You know, take it off the wave system, just on collision overlap, boom, and we get a puzzle. This is basically just a dungeon. Designed to be a dungeon in a grander world, where it's just coming the dungeon and survive as many ways as you can and done. For some reason the health won't coming up there. Is that going to be a problem that we have to solve out? So the cursor won't come off the screen here. We're going to press shift and F1 and it'll come off. Boom. Yeah, we've got issues. Applying invalid scale to body. Pick up health, mana health. We'll click on that. It should show us where it is. So again, you'll have to look in the actual documentation of the levels and figure out, but we can, like again, like we was doing last week, we just hold Alt and move that. We've got an extra mana up there. Oh, there we go. And it's one more we can pick up, and we could, so I'm guessing some of these are blockers. Hierarchical volume, but let's say we remove that rock. And look at that cave, that's asking to be a cave, innit? That's just asking to be a cave, so... Landscape, can we double the... No, we don't double the landscape outside the finger. We could make it bigger though. Extend it. Do whatever, basically whatever you wanted to do with this. It's clearly got infantry potion pickups, weapon pickups. It's got the main blueprint, so all you really need to do is learn the bases. I mean, I'm legitimately still learning it myself, so I don't want to come on and do any definitive tutorials. I just want to point is in the right direction for now, and the direction that I'm going in to actually learn it. When we get onto the horror one in a minute, the horror one is absolutely epic. I have had a little play around in the horror one. I got stuck. So maybe you'll be able to, maybe we won't get stuck this time. Don't save. But you can 100% easily break that. Go for it. Do whatever you want for it. We moved the block. We did this. We did that. And that version there, yeah, will be wrecked if you get to a point where it's just crashing all the time. But then you just come down to here, action RPG, and you create a new project, and it's boom, it's brand new again. So although you do want to have backups for your main projects that you're doing at the top, any tutorial or practice project, don't be afraid of going too far and breaking them a little bit, because you can just reload them again right from the beginning. Let's have a look at this horror engine. This has got some good blueprints and stuff. This is the first free asset I've seen that's got an actual CCTV system in it. Got CCTV system built into the game, and it just shows you, well, you can see how the blueprints are set up. Nice and small as well. They seem to be loading relatively fast compared to that abomination the other week that was City Parks. The City Parks asset is just unbelievable. Like, my PC legitimately barely loads it, whereas these ones spoke a little too soon there. Scott, she's on 95%. She won't take long. I can't drag it until it loads up either. It should come in itself. This is highly regarded as one of the best free assets on Unreal Engine, aside from all the mega scan stuff. Regarding blueprints and whatnot, this is one of the crazy ones. Now you might look here now and think like, what the hell is going on here, bruh? Like, there's just cameras and lights and switches, little, like, what the hell's all this? What is all this? What is this? It's crazy. So the idea is to just press play.
Welcome to Horror Engine. You're on the overview level now. Please keep in mind, this level only shows the assets and not the horror events. If you want to experience the horror event functions, please go to the red platform and enter the demo level.
So basically, have a little mooch about and have a ganders at the assets and all that, and at the table and your diary inputs and stuff, obviously from the game, and all the media assets, and he's basically just showcasing the different assets. Put Valve here. A valve in a game is something where you'll go through it and can't get back the other way, like water through a hose pipe. When it's going through the valve, the water can't turn around and go back through the valve the other way. A valve is a one-way door. When you go through that door, you ain't getting back through it. You've got to keep going through the game. Whereas a gate would be a door that's shut that you had to figure out a way to get through it. And a gate can be a valve. By the time you're through the gate, it shuts behind you and stops going. But it's if you're wondering like why is it saying does it not mean light switch? Valve. That's the term of valve within a game. You say if we want to go to the demo, go on the red platform, but let's not get too ahead of ourselves. There's a ladder system here. I want to have a little look at. There's multiple kinds of doors. Unlock the first slider. Oh, so I left clicked on that and dragged it. So it's got working sliders to lock and unlock doors. Stop it. Horror, dude. Horror. What? Look at that. I'm gonna be honest, I jumped on a red platform last time, went straight in, and then didn't really have much of a look. Oh. So this is what I want for my level, this flashing light here. It's got security assets. When we wake on my level, I want a flashing red light. I want the player to basically learn to move about and get into the control room, pushing a button by pressing E, and having the red flashing light turn off. This is offering these assets as blueprints with cards that you get through and stuff. This is some of the stuff I need. I need to actively figure it out from the game. Look at the CCTV. How do we climb a ladder? Left mouse hold, release ladder, space to jump. So left mouse to hold it, so I'm on it. If I let go of the left mouse, I'm still climbing it. And I suppose I have to space to jump to that and then hold the left mouse again. That's a nice mechanic. This is going to show you the footsteps. So the footstep sounds. So basically there's people online looking for that footstep mechanic, looking at how to make it in Unreal and stuff, when it's legitimately here. Will that fall kill us? Oh, we're in a demo level. Well, this is the actual demo level. That's really good to get for free, them footsteps. I don't think people understand that when you're playing a game that hasn't got them, it's just dead. I came in here last time and just really only spent a couple of seconds in here, seen the CCTV. Turn off the monitor, switch right mouse, switch cameras. Let's have a... Clearly got a built-in infantry system. It's letting me pick stuff up. We'll press I. Menu. Zoom game. F's a torch. Oh, he blew the camera, he blew the candle out.
Look. I need to unlock it first.
You need to unlock it, man. Re-asset this. Key's got to be up there, hasn't it? Ooh. Mouse to take key. Key added to. Oh, fell. Unlock. Welcome to Horror Engine. Good luck. Ooh. What's happening, me 86? I was taking a little cruise through the free asset on Unreal Engine. It's called Horror Engine. This level is completely free. Completely pre-built. You come in and play it like this, and it's just basically teaching me how it works a little bit. See, that's a valve, that, guys. We just entered a valve. We ain't gonna get back through there now. So we went through a valve. That part of the level is... Oh. Probably gonna end up like... Can I move a picture? Oh. There we go. There we go. Error. YouTube not receiving enough video. Sorry guys if it's fucking you over again. Found a key though.
What the? What's going on? What the hell? Who's there?
We can't even open that video anymore.
Oh my god! What the hell was that?
I'm back. Am I back? Bruno, this is a free asset on Unreal Engine. It's called Horror Engine. It's basically an asset that teaches you how to make a horror game, basically. Um, we're just playing it for the minute, but we're looking at noticing the lights getting triggered and all that. If you wanted, wondering how this works, you can get this asset and should be able to figure out how it's all put together with a couple of tutorials. For instance, let me come out of it. So we want to be content, horror engine, maps, the demo map. Loading demonstration. So here's the level we just got to. This is where we started. We came through this door. We've then got don't know what the fuck that was on there with them hands. Trigger put. So again, we can read these blueprints, but I truly know what they are. But we've had trigger volumes. We had to come through the door. This was a valve. By the time we got through there, we couldn't walk back through. There's foot wall there that wasn't there during the game. We actually, I don't know whether you saw me when it went a little bit bad, guys, but I had to move that middle. I had to move that screen painting. It's a secret painting blueprint. Secret painting blueprint, security camera blueprint, secret torch, secret paintings. There's basically secret blueprints that enable you to get all the way to the end of the level, should we say. We went in there, we got a key. The key then opened that door. We went through that door. We saw the ghost. That's potentially what these trigger volumes are. Event trigger, edit overlap. When you walk through them, you see a ghost. You walk through that, the door's going to lock. We had to come back into this room. We then went through there. And we got stuck there, didn't we? This was another valve, but there was a secret torch blueprint. So I think one of them torches would have opened the door. Potentially. Probably the one right next to it. Secret torch blueprint. If we'd have pressed the mouse on the torch, that door would have opened. We could have continued with a little game. We'd have had to get through here. We'd have seen another ghost there. There's a ghost. Trigger volume. So again, when we come through that door into that box, that overlap trigger is going to trigger that ghost. So they'll be referenced in each other's blueprints. The blueprint of the trigger will say, I'm going to trigger that asset or that component. And that component, as in this guy, is going to say, I'm being triggered by that trigger box over there. And it will be in the we'll have a look at the level blueprint in a sec, actually. Because it's interesting, I actually don't... Yo, is that full circle then? Oh, that was actually that room, wasn't it? So you come back full circle. Ugh, proper horror, that. Proper horror, and you think you're progressing, and then it just brings you back to where you was. You're like, no! No! I thought I'd got further through. It's crazy, this. So let's have a look at the actual open the level blueprint on this bad boy. Hang on a minute. Nothing. What does that tell us? It was controlled by something else, basically. The blueprint just exists in something else, which was the overview, and we stood on the red thing, didn't we, and activated it through there. Bam. Menu level, blueprints. So we've got the save game actor. Going to be high. I mean, I might add this to my game, because that looks like a decent sci-fi game. That looks like a decent... It could be used in sci-fi still, that. Not necessarily a horror object, that. That could easily be a sci-fi game, save game checkpoint. So I think we'll be using that. And again, if we open it, it's just going to relate to this game. And all you need to do is go in Unreal Engine, learn about saving games, and make sure this is actually saving your level when they're playing your game, and it compiles within your level. And you've got yourself a little save game asset. Other usable assets, the inventory, do you know what I mean? Like, look, we've got torches, bullets, the battery, the camera, Polaroid, no way. And again, it's just, you don't necessarily have to use the blueprint as it is. You can just, so you've got a key. If you're old school and you want an actual key, there's a key blueprint. Now that's dragged the camera in and all sorts. People are going to be thinking, what the fuck? But that's for a key. For a shitty little key. Are you shitting me? Remove after unlock, unlock. Cast a cabinet, cast a door, cast a drawer. Basically, that's the fucking master key for the whole fucking level. And in the variables, you will set it to whichever door it's supposed to open at the time. So because you'll be planting multiple ones, each one you plant, one might just be to the drawer, one might just be to the door, one's to the cabinet, one's to the sliding door, one might remain a master key. This is the master key blueprint. You can tell by just looking at it a little bit. Don't need to understand exactly everything that's happening there. You just need to understand that somewhere in these variables here, there's going to be a way to turn it from one door to the other. Just like a light on, off, one to the other, a door being locked. Again, that's usually in a Boolean. It's just a Boolean. It's true, false. It's on, off. It's is it, isn't it? You just need to learn a little bit, and the blueprints, I'm telling you, will enable you to lean towards learning the actual language a little bit more. We've got there's a master card for the key card, but there's also, there'll be just the meshes of them on their own. They're all usable assets as blueprints. The electronics, the security keypad. I'm looking for the security alarm with a light in the bottom. There it is. Boom. Let me get that bad boy out because I want this in my level. Edit security alarm blueprint. Look, this is just add a Boolean variable set to on off, because that's all you really do. Move alarm, security system, on off settings, event open on, restore on, delay sound by light. So again, it initially looks a little bit more complicated than you think it needs to be, but it's only because it's referencing other assets and stuff, and there's different variables within the asset. You could maybe, it doesn't have to be a red light. You could introduce multiple variables within this blueprint that dictates whether you've got a flashing red light, a flashing blue light, a flashing yellow light, a flashing green light. And then when you actually add the asset to the level in the end, you'll tick in the variable box here, like there, it's red alarm light color. If we tick that to blue, we've got a blue alarm there straight away, not a red one or purple as it went. Do you know what I mean? It's, if we control Z, we'll go back to red. But it's as simple as that. The difference is that could change, because that doesn't seem to be set up as a variable. You'd have to check. That could be changing every blueprint. So if you drove multiple ones in and you just change one, does that change the others? So we've made that one blue. Is that one still red? That one's still red. That one's still red. So you can see you can do it both ways. You can have a blueprint set up so they're separate, and if you only change one, you don't affect the rest what you've laid. Or you can have them all interlinked. So if you change one, you change the rest of them. In a security system, you'd want something more like that, but in separate rooms, being separate colours, you maybe want a little bit more control. The amount of free assets in here is absolutely crazy. I'm super interested in the ladder. But I mean, if I need to think about that, 'cause if I'm giving my character flight, do they really need to climb fucking ladders? Core blueprints. The diary. The diary is a great blueprint to have thinking about it, and something I'd likely be leaning to in the end with regards to gathering lore, gathering information to teach about what's happened to the character and how to progress through the game. So a diary is actually a great idea as an addition to your game, and the fact that you get a blueprint there set up as a diary is quite impressive. You've got game instance, game save component, head shake on a ladder, head shake landed, head shake walking. Jesus. It shows the detail that went into the ladder climb. You know, there's 3 different blueprints there that just dictate the head shaking while you're on and getting off the ladder. Game mode, that is an extremely that is basically the game mode dictating how it's gonna run and stuff. It will likely be empty because it's gonna be the level blueprints that dictate how each level runs. By the time you get to the end of one level, it's likely going to trigger box shot to another level, and then it will be that level's blueprints, event begin play, that then get you onto the next level. So if you wanted to basically build this out, oh, it went up. I suggest just having a few plays of it until you can legitimately get all the way through it. And I mean, the beauty of it is, we didn't really hang about when we got stuck then. We come straight out. But the beauty of it is, by the 2 minutes after we come out, if we found out that that is a secret torch that no doubt gets you through that door. Even though you're going to look back on yourself, eventually you are going to complete the level. And you can then either send yourself to a brand new horror level. You can tweak this. This is free to use. You can put this in your game. There's nothing in the documentation that states you can't use this in your game. It's just a little lazy if this is the only level you introduce and you just basically introduce Unreal Engine's asset as your fucking game. But if you expand on it, add to it, actually understand it and build on it and make it your own, yeah, use it by all means. It's what it's there for. It's what it's there for. I'm 100% now. I'm coming to this for the save game blueprint. I'm going to export that into my level. I'm going to figure out how it works and stuff and have it in my game so people can save a game with them in mind, because it just looks decent. I might even change the mesh and have a few different ones. I'm likely going to definitely use the diary. I'm going to use the security alarm. I'm no doubt going to use the CCTV, or can at least compare it to the CCTV I've seen in another asset. And again, that's just taking a camera in the level. If you're wondering why there's cameras all over the gaff in this, you can actually take what the camera sees and project it somewhere. So if that camera's looking at that video, you can actually project what that camera sees on one of the monitors within the level. I know there's not much being shown here for the amount of cameras there is in a level, but we didn't really stand at a TV and flick through the channels, did we? If we'd have stood at a TV and flicked through the channels, I mean, there's a VHS there. Who's to say we couldn't play the tape? There's a lot in this level that we could have been doing that we potentially just didn't do. And again, it's free. So all these assets, we've seen that I added a sound asset in my level before. It's just a typical voice when the level begins, the AI talking to the character, asking if the character's awake, telling the character we need to restore the power and whatnot. And if you want any sounds for anywhere else, then I mean, audio. Are you shitting me? Right? Are you shitting me? Yeah, this is free. This is what free. We've got carpet, dirt, grass, metal, rock, tile, wood. They're the physical materials, right? They're created. You can see it says physical materials. They've been created to tell the engine what material the character is standing on. So if you place dirt in your world, you assign that material to it, this physical material. And if we click that here, you're going to see physical material override. I'm on that little box there, physical material override. I'm going to highlight metal. And if I hover over that, it's going to use selected asset from content browser. I'm going to go boom, and that's now metal. If the player jumps and walks on that now, the engine will portray it as metal and give the sound of walking on metal. We've got footsteps. We can come to metal. It would have played that, or that, or that, or that. Now the metal cue, you base all them together and put a random node, and it just gives you a random one. So each footstep doesn't sound too the same. They usually do 3 or 4 different ones, and it can toon, 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 toon. Need footsteps in your game? Boom. Horror Engine's got them. It's there. It's there. And then again, we just where would we it would be character. Where's the character? Particles, meshes, media, materials, maps, blueprints, audio. Horror Engine character. Movement. Axes, add movement. So this is the input. This is basically the axis, the input of you moving your mouse. And it's going to basically forward vector, right vector. Basically just, that's how you're going to move. It doesn't. What's with that? It's got a torch in its hand as a preview mesh. So it's going to look like when the torch is next to the camera. That's actually... So we've got a player controller somewhere, and it will be linked to the footsteps of the player. It's got me thinking we can actually watch the VHS. The VHS mechanics is MP4. And by the looks of it, it'll play on almost anything. Interesting. I'm interested in a few more sound effects actually, because anyone needed sound effects? Here they are. I mean, have I got a siren? Heartbeat. Come on. Come on, how many? What? What did I say? Buzzer. Would it be buzzer? No. Siren. No. Alarm. Alarm. Potentially going to have pow, pow, at the start of the game with a red light until you turn it off. Alarm cue, alarm ref, alarm. See, that's more like it, isn't it? That's just looping now. That's an alarm, mate. So with lights, you need an alarm. You've got an alarm. You need it. It's absolutely crazy. The amount of audio there alone. Seriously, how many times can you push a button? All extremely similar, but at least it gives you the few. I mean, piss poor alarm. That hey, it's still an alarm. Still an alarm, isn't it? For fuck's sake. Right, let's do no more of the death ones.
Locked.
Locked.
Locked. I need to unlock it first. What the hell is that?
What the hell is that? I mean, a good horror cues. Even gulping down the painkillers. Proper that. I mean, guys, like I said, let's have a look at a couple of the meshes that you get for free. So obviously, ball battery. I mean, they give you the book. You're getting a shitty button and a button base, the cabinet base, door, twin cabinets. I mean, you've got a glow stick, control panel. That save game mesh, that's a bit sci-fi. I like that. I'm having that save game. So you can notice that all the blueprints and the assets within the blueprints are all made from the meshes. Like anything you can find in the blueprints will have been created from the audio, the effects, the particles, and the meshes that have been given within this pack. Will all be what went into making all these. They're made with the meshes, but they're also linked to different assets and different aspects like the particle widgets and stuff. So when you pick the health up, or you have the health, or you kill the thing, all the blue sparks and whatnot flying all over the place, they're all linked together within the blueprints. So whatever you see in a blueprint or whatever you see in the game is within all these files somewhere, and are all referencing each other in each other's blueprints. And if you ever wonder why there's nothing in the game mode blueprints, or if there's nothing in a certain blueprint, it's likely it's just either being handled by a parent, which will be in here somewhere, where we saw this physical asset. You'll have material static mesh, you'll have a parent, and it will say this is the parent to this asset, and the blueprint will be controlling the parent. And the reason that asset's different is just because a few variables have been changed from the parent. It becomes a child of the parent. But guys, I'm going to get back to building my game for the rest of today. I hope you enjoyed that stream. I hope you enjoy getting your hands dirty in these free assets, because if you get up to here, let me know. I've obviously not made it here yet. I've not made it all the way up to the top. Once you're through the top and you're through that door, you get back to the overview level. If anyone makes it all the way around in the first go, let me know. You're a G if you do. But I can't rave about Unreal Engine enough. It's absolutely incredible. Don't save. It is what it says in the tin, and I'll put it in the description. It is one of, if not the most powerful 3D platforms on the market, and it is unbelievable, to say the least, that it's free, and it has a hell of a lot of free content, and we can just go to learn and level design a quick start, or the documentation will generally just take you to where you need to go. But by the time you're on level design quick start, this will teach you just how to build that straight up. Just go on a level and build that. Just be able to say, yeah, I built a little scene, and then expand that scene and learn that way from scratch. Or go in one of the free assets, break the shit out of it, have a load of fun, realize you don't know much, come back to that, do a few tutorials, go back to the free asset and absolutely smash it, expand it, progress it, and make it your own. The kids will love it. I'm telling you. This I just want, and more than anything, if this doesn't spark much creativity in my community and the people that usually watch this, I want you to promise me one thing. You steer your kids towards it as soon as humanly possible. Don't push them. You don't need to push them towards it. Just steer them towards it. Just look, them days you're getting sick of them and gaming too much or anything like that, just say, look, there's a difference. Let's make our own game. Let's make our own game instead of playing them ones all the time. And actually sit, because you can learn the C++ on the side, learn the blueprints on the side while they're just having fun with the actual game. You can learn the actual fundamentals, and it'll only be a matter of time before they get a little bit older. They've learnt more than you. They start teaching you, and who knows what career it will lead to. There's not a career in the future worth its salt that can't be enhanced by this program. I challenge anyone to find one for me. They won't be able to. You just can't. It's that advanced. It'll touch every industry now, this. From gaming to TV to movies to animated content to architecture to robotics and engineering to medical. I'm telling you, to just simple C++ software development. There's not an industry that's worth its salt in the future that can't be enhanced by this. That's all I'm saying. So, yeah. On that note, thanks June. Appreciate it. Thanks everyone else for watching. Let's go back to school. I'm looking forward to progressing mine now. You do the same. Invest in yourself. Invest in the internet of value. Turn your hobbies into revenue. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Even if you only make £10 a month on it, go for it. Push it. See where you get. And let me know where you get. Yeah. Live long and hodl it all till you're ready to let it go. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. Thanks for watching, and peace out.